Good evening, everybody. Good evening to all of you. Tonight, what I want to do is I want to do a quick lecture so I may clarify on the topic of death. Good evening, Madame Keke Lobe. Good evening to you, my dear. Tonight, I want to focus on the topic of death. What I want to do, guys, is I want to present to you Haitian death versus American death. Madame Keke, you're so funny. So, listen, guys, there are a lot of confusions happening right now because in the Haitian community, we are split because a lot of the Haitians are becoming Americanized and they are forgetting what it means to die in the Haitian tradition. They are forgetting what death means. A lot of the Haitians right now, they are acting as if when you die, you bear no responsibility. And that's not our culture. That's not Haitian culture. Let me explain something to you guys. I am qualified to talk about this topic. I have witnessed firsthand numerous occasions of where death rites are performed in my tradition. Matter of fact, that's one of my best moments in my Haitian tradition. I enjoy the death rites. I enjoy participating in death rites. Like when you die in the Haitian tradition, people, listen up. I have assisted death rites in the capital and in the mountains. It is very different. Okay, when you go in the mountains, you're dealing with natives, you're dealing with Aborigine cultures, you're dealing with tradition cultures, and a lot of times it is mixed with ancient Dahomey kingdom culture. You cannot confuse ancient Dahomey kingdom with present day modern West Africa. Two different type of people, two different cultures. The geography may still remain the same, and we may still have the connection or whatnot, but the people have changed, the geography have changed. So people, please pay attention. Okay, listen up. In the Haitian tradition of death, the person who is dead bears a lot of responsibility. And I will give you an example of my personal experience, first-hand experience of one of the death rituals I have assisted. I remember my great uncle, his name was Tikok, Little Worcester. When my great uncle Tikok, Little Worcester, died, I was in the countryside, I was in the mountains, and I was young, I was very young, but I remember till this day, the way that we do funeral rites, it was according to tradition and it was to the T. And let me explain to you what happens. The night before the burial, we have something called veillée. It's an all-night party, but it's more than a party. Some people think it's just a party, but I had a chance for numerous occasions. I had a chance to experience death and the rites associated with it. So I know the veillée is not just a party. Let me tell you what else it is. The night before the burial, there is a big party outside in a big yard. But guess what, guys? Inside the house is a different ritual. So when you're having a veillée and outside is a lot of music, outside is a lot of food, a lot of tea, people are joking, people are dancing, people are crying, people are falling down. But inside that house is a different ritual. So I will explain to you what the ritual is. Inside that house is a tribunal. Some people call it a tribunal. Inside that house is a tribunal. It's a trial of the dearly departed. It's the trial of the person who have just died. That person will undergo a trial right before the burial. And what is that trial about? That trial will entail your life, your deeds. You will be judged. Before you are buried, you are judged. A lot of Haitians are being Americanized and they are thinking that when you die, everything goes with you. That's cowardish. My culture is not a culture of cowards. Before you died, after you died, you are judged. Okay? You are judged. You are judged before you are buried. You are judged. So a lot of those Haitians who are into Christianity, they confuse Haitian traditions with your cowardice adaptations of death. Death rituals are very rigid and very strict in my culture. So the night before you are buried, you are put to trial. A lot of people, they just know what goes on outside of that veillée. Outside of that veillée is a huge party, food, drinks, people are falling down. But inside that house is a trial, and the trial will judge the dearly departed. Was he a good father? And then we have lawyers. Somebody will stand up and say, no, he was not a good father. And they will refer to specific actions in your life. They will refer to specific actions in your life because the questions will be asked of your living. Was he a good father? And someone will stand up. There are two barristers in that trial. There will be two barristers. One is for you. One is pleading against you. One is pleading for you. The barrister who's pleading against you will stand up and will say, well, he was not a good father. I remember one time his daughter asked him for $20. He did not give it to her. They will refer to specific occasions of your life. And then the barrister who's for you will say, well, yes, indeed, he was a good father. He may not have had the $20 at the time, but look at all the other times when he gave hundreds and he was there for school fees. He was there for food. He was there for... So that's how it's done in my culture. When you die, we don't just shut our eyes and say, rest in peace. The fuck no. You don't rest in peace, bitch. Not until you've been tried. Not until you've been tried by the people who knew you. So recently, I don't know if all of you are aware, there are gang activities in my community on Facebook. It's plenty gangs. So I've been attacked by gangs, and one of the things that I specifically prayed for, I prayed for my powers to reach the people who was attacking me. Even in their fanatics, I prayed to pierce them and to reach them, and I did. I had enough power to reach. So recently there was a death. One of the hoes dropped dead. So when a hoe dropped dead, in my Haitian culture, we don't just set a hoe off. We measure the hoe, we judge the hoe before we bury that hoe. So for all of you who are talking rubbish, I don't know whose culture you're mimicking, but I am righteously standing in my culture and I am just doing what I'm supposed to do. So when you die, and I will repeat it, the Haitian culture is very much different than the American culture and Christianity. You people need to get off it. I am very qualified to speak about this because I've witnessed this many, many, many times. When you die in the Haitian culture, you don't just get buried. There is a veille. Hello, Madame Flore Bien-Aimée. There is a veille. That's the night before you are buried. To some people, because some people never get to step inside the house. Inside the house is a privileged space. They don't let children in. They used to let me in when I was a child because I'm a chosen person. So when I was a child, I used to see all of these things that other children did not see. Even when I was very little, I had the respect of big adults because they knew I was chosen. They knew it. So I had the chance to witness all of that. No one is going to just send you off and bury you without a trial. And that's our Haitian traditions. Like when someone dies, that person still has a responsibility. You don't just die and say, forget it. So that's why in the Haitian traditions, you have to live your life cleanly. You have to live your life accordingly so that when you die or at your trial, the night before your burial, you will be judged and you will be sent off the right way. So in the Haitian culture, it's not about letting it go and wrapping it up and throwing dust over you, dear. You are all going to be judged according to your deeds. Let me tell you another example. I had a guy who owed me money. About a few years ago, he died, and they had a GoFundMe for him on Facebook. When I looked at the GoFundMe, it had about $12,000 in there. Well, when I saw $12,000, I saw my own money that he owed me. Just because he died doesn't mean that debt is not to be paid. He still owes me in death. Now, if I was a great magician, I can call him and make him pay me. I can call him and make him render services to me in death to pay me. He still owes me. I'm just not with that type of power where I can do it, but I'm just telling you what I could do. Because when you die and you owe, you still owe. And the person you owe still has a debt that's not fulfilled. So let's say I was a great magician and that guy who owes me money, if I was such a great magician, I would be able to call him in the underworld or wherever world he is, summon him to come break your neck. That's the type of work he can do for the money he owes me. You feel me? Because he owes me in death and in life. He owes me in every dimension. He owes me in all the four cardinal corners. Cardinal corners. He owes me. That fact does not change. So when you offend me in your life, you're living, and after you die, you still offended me. So it's better for you to say sorry before you die. Because just because you die, I will not forgive your offense. I have a choice. I have a choice to forgive or not forgive. But don't expect me to forgive you just because you die. So it would be better for you to apologize to me before you die. Hello, Madame Hebrams. Madame Hebrams, good to know, because I didn't know that. A lot of Haitians do not understand the rights, the death rights, because we have come to the United States, we have been Christianized, and we act like we forget because it's easy to be a Christian. It's easy to act crazy and to act ratchet and to turn to a God and say sorry and take you forgiven. But in the real mathematics of logic and reasoning, whatever you do, it stands. And you must pay for it. You must take charge. You must acknowledge what you have done. So your deeds don't just erase just because there's a Jesus to say you forgiven. That's not what our culture is about. That's not what Haitian culture is about. So for all of you who are talking rubbish, talking crakalaka, all of you crackalacking, that don't make it doesn't make any sense to me, and I will not adhere to such rubbish because I am learned. I'm an academician, for God's sake. I've done research. I've lived in my country. I've lived with the natives of my country. I got their bloods in my vein. So why should I take some fictitious Roman novel? Why should I take some fictitious Roman story when I have my own geography and my own culture to tell me what's going on? So when you die and you think I'm going to forgive your debt and I'm going to forgive your deeds, you are dead wrong. And it's literally dead wrong. Good night, everybody. Before I depart, I want to tell you that I do have the nursing review. It's a free download, guys. It's a free download. You can download the Mark Klimek review, and it's free. You just log on to www.theanshop.com. At this time, I think it would be great to come together as a community to review and create more nurses. At this time, because the country is in such urgency, I don't know why I would be asking you to pay money for this. And it's not my own work. I know some people have copied this man's book and are selling it. It's illegal to do that. I'm not doing anything illegal. We are using this as to just share. You know, it's not illegal to do that. So the website that you go to for your free nursing review is www.theanshop.com. Download it free. Download it. And I started reviewing with you guys a little, not reviewing. I started, looking at a few questions with you the last time. It's all there. It's all there. So I am going to start doing a live review on Facebook. Live review on Facebook. Gratis. Free. Live review. We're going to review together. So I have not spoken to my top dog nurses. I will touch base with them by tomorrow. Listen, guys, this is brought to you. This service is brought to you by some top dog nurses. They gave me the information to give you. This information did not come from me. I cannot take credit for it. It was a union. Like when you go to my website, guys, you're going to see a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group has even more information on it. Not only do we have the Mark Klimek review, we have other reviews. We have 2 other reviews on that WhatsApp group, and it's all gratis. It's all free, guys. It's all free. And let me tell you guys, for me, I will also help myself. At the end of these reviews, I will be bridging my pedagogy license. I will become a nurse educator. Okay, I will bridge, because I already have a license to teach. After all this review, I will bridge my license and I will connect it to the nursing field. I really am looking forward to it. I have always wanted to teach nursing. I just was never passionate about it, to the point where, I didn't really pursue it in the sense where it was my dream. No. When I went to nursing school, I thought about it, and then when I got to work with nurses, it all left because the experience was not the best. I'm not kidding, guys, but I know the nurses are great and I know they are doing a great job. But for me, I could not handle the work environment of hospitals and all of that. I couldn't. But I know that, and it's better for me to know that than to go over there and to treat clients badly, because things are going wrong. You know what I mean? So I believe that I will be pursuing my nurse educator license. I already have another license. I will just be bridging it. So I don't think it's going to take that much for me to just bridge it. And right now I'm doing a master's degree at another university. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what my university can do for me because I'm already there. And this university I'm attending right now, I'm attending on a full scholarship, guys. So congratulations to me again. Yeah. So if I were to take a few courses just to bridge the license, I could afford to pay for that because my other courseworks, they already paid for. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys. I am really looking forward to the nursing reviews. Please share. Tell your friends. Tell your friends this is free. We're going to do this as a community. Tell your friends it's free. And guys, let me tell you something. We will be learning. Like I told you before a couple of days ago, I'm going to be speaking to the nurses because I would like for them to come in here and to address the different areas of concentration. Because, you know, right now the nursing exam is between 60 and 130 questions in a matter of 4 hours. Okay, Madam Sterling, oh, you don't need to know what school I'm going to. Just, you know, I'm doing my master's right now, okay? I didn't tell you specifically what degree I was doing, honey. Just understand I'm doing another master's. Okay? Stop poking at my business, girl. But what I'm saying to you is I'm already in a school and they already have this type of field. So if I were to take 2 extra courses, I could afford to pay for those because my other courses are paid for. I'm on a full scholarship. Well, it's not called a scholarship when you're doing graduate studies. It's called a fellowship. So guys, I will depart. I wish you all, I bid you all a good night. Just share this, please. Share the information so that we can get more of you to enjoy this free service. It's not all the time that our community is going to get together. And this is wonderful because the nurses have been very generous. The information that they are sharing, they had to go find it, and a lot of it they had to pay for themselves. So please share it. Let all of the nurses know and the future nurses know you don't have to pay for this information anymore. And let me tell you, y'all, I am qualified to teach you. I've taught at universities, I've taught at high schools, I've taught at preschools, I've taught at middle schools, I've taught in prisons. I'm qualified and I have a license to teach. I have a pedagogue license. So you're in good hands with me. So tell all your friends that we'll be sharing this information gratis. Gratis. Hey, my love, Stacy. Good day. Good night, guys. Good night.